So today we're talking about how to buy the best running shoes. Now, I put this little piece together for you and I've done a review on some of the running shoes that you can go and purchase and I'm going to tag them all in this video. So I've learned quite a lot about running shoes over the last few weeks. And I've also learned quite a lot about this particular pair that I own, which we're gonna sort of go into in a bit. But I wanted to give you an idea. There's so many types of running shoes available to buy, and it's no wonder that a lot of us feel really overwhelmed when just trying to think about getting a new pair. You go into the shops and they're just literally rows and rows and rows of the stuff. So to make the decision a little bit easier, I've collected a few pointers that might help you when it comes to the next time you go and buy a pair of running shoes. So the first things you want to think about doing is getting your gait analysed, and you can do this in like brick and mortar running shoe shop. There's some really good running shoe shops out there if you go and search them up online. I know in my area we have Alexander Sports, which caters specifically for running and also good fitting as well. But you can do it yourself. All you've got to do is step on a piece of paper with wet feet. That's the test. Just to see for yourself where your instep is or where it isn't, and you can see from the mark it makes on the paper. But I would really recommend going to a proper shop and getting it done. There's also the Nerve running insole. It's NURVV. It's a running insole that can tell you exactly how much you pronate. So I'll tag all the brands in this post so you can find them and go and check it out for yourself. So be mindful of sizing. That's another thing. Not all running shoes are created equal. Some brands are infamous for their sizing methods. For example, New Balance shoes tend to be a half a size under. So if you wear a 10 normally, you might want to go for the 10.5. New Balance, also racing shoes are usually tighter than trainers. So the best women's running shoes may also be narrower and lighter than the unisex options. So probably best to make sure you're shopping in the right gender space. So take the running surface into account. Obviously you need different shoes for tarmac and trail, so there's lots to think about. So think about your lifestyle, where you normally run, whether you're running in a gym, on a treadmill, or if you're actually running on tracks. That said, some shoes will perform good on all sorts of terrain. I never have a problem with these ones, but Nike Air Zoom, Pegasus 36 Trail are exceptionally good for all-round wear. So if you're not really sort of sure if you're going to be able to stick to one track, then maybe check out those. Should you go for distance or not? So if you prefer shorter distances like me, like a 5K, 10K, you won't need industrial amounts of cushioning, even though I do like really cushioned trainers. For mid distances like the 10K half marathon, you might want to think about having some more support and a stronger upper to keep your feet in line. As you can see, these particular ones, they're more like socks, so they're not very strong, plus they will get wet quite easily. But where I'm a half size, so I'm a 39.5, and you can't often find half sizes because you're not really restricted here, and it's a bit like a sock. It doesn't matter if your toe, for me, pushes a little bit on it because it's got that flexibility. So you want running shoes that give you great energy returns, yet a lightweight and responsive feel. A bit like the Asics Meta Racer, which I will tag in this post and you can go and check them out. If you've got a purpose in mind, there's no point in getting, let's say, a Nike Vaporfly if you don't race, and it's equally as silly to get a Brooks Glycerin for high performance runs. So if you're planning on having only one pair of running shoes, make sure you keep in mind the main principle that you will use them for, and make the purchase accordingly. So definitely go into the sports shop and definitely speak to somebody who's fairly knowledgeable, not just a typical sales assistant, and get them to sort of really tailor match a shoe for your specific needs. Oh, and be sure to use running shoes for running. It's tempting to have just one pair of shoes. Something I've always done. I've always just seen something I like, something that looks fashionable, and I've used it for lifting and running, and it's really, really not the thing to be doing. So have shoes for running, trail running, and then shoes for workouts in the gym as well. So I would recommend using appropriate shoes for all occasions, which means you get to go shop more and spend more money on shoes, which is amazing. Okay, the best trail running shoes will protect your feet when you're running on uneven terrain. And the best workout shoes will provide grip and stability in the gym. So there's a lot to think about, and making sure you've got the right equipment is key to getting really good results in your performance with whatever you're doing for your chosen workout. So the best running shoes, or best running trainers as some people like to call them, are an essential piece of running gear. So that will not only help you run faster, but they'll also help you reduce the risk of injury as well, even improving your running in some cases. Not to mention, getting a pair of running shoes is quite a lot of good motivation to start running for those of you who find it hard to get out of the chair. You know, getting yourself some nice gear and getting excited about it. I love this bright colour. It always makes me feel quite excited and quite happy, as opposed to boring black. So go and choose something that you really love, it's really exciting, and you want to wear it and try it out. Whether you're whether you're new to running, looking for your first pair of Adidas, or Adidas as some call. If you're like a professional trying to find a replacement for your completely worn out Nike racing shoes, you'll find a few of the best options here today, hopefully, on what probably is the most comprehensive running shoe guide on the internet, because I put it together, at least according to me. So in lockdown, estimated 7 million people across the UK turned to jogging and running, which is amazing. During a COVID-19 crisis, people boosted their mental health using running and jogging. And that's basically a huge expansion of the running market there, just in the United Kingdom alone. So we can only assume that there are even more people running for fitness in the UK now as a result of that. So popularity of running is understandable. It's great for losing belly fat, boosting your metabolism, as well as a great way to improve your mood and get fit. So running in general, or running in the wrong type of shoes, can make you feel pretty uncomfortable, or even worse, get you a little bit injured if they're not the right fit for you and where you're running. So let's get into my little review of some of 2021's running shoes to help you reduce the risk of injury and make sure you're wearing the best trainers for your needs. So I've checked out 8 of them, but I want to talk about this one first, which is quite exciting. So I've just discovered something about this shoe. It's a shoe I love, not only for the comfort, but I love the color and I just love the bounciness of it. So this is the Under Armour Hover Phantom RN. Now, this has surprised the hell out of me, because I think this here, I haven't looked into this yet, and I will put this on my stories so you know if it was true or not. I think this is a little button that connects to the Map My Run app, which I knew nothing about. There was no information in the box when these came about this app. And it allows you to connect your running shoes to an app which provides personalized coaching to better your results and reduce your injury, apparently. It's basically recording your running performance, such as your stride length, pace, and the split, so that you can chart your improvements in form. Apparently, I never knew that. So I'm going to check this out, put this on my stories. These are still available. I haven't found too many available because I think these might be from a previous season. I'm not sure how old they are, but quite interesting. And I do really love these for the reasons that I already explained. So go and check out the Under Armour Hover Phantom RN. They do have Phantom 1, Phantom 2, and a bunch of others, but they all look completely different. So that's that one. So I will tag all of these in the post. I'm going to go through as many as I can in the time that I've got. So number one running shoe for 2021 is the Adidas 4D Forward, which is the 4D FWD. So apparently it's the next step in the evolution of running shoes, so they say. And the Adidas 4D FWD is not the cheapest either. And admittedly, the limited drop nature of the initial release won't help these go-to shoes for most runners at all. Nevertheless, if you have the chance, I'd highly recommend getting a pair of these because apparently they are supposed to represent the next step in the running shoe evolution, would you believe? So I would go and try them out at a sports store, give them a go. Some of these stores have got treadmills in so you can actually feel the fit and run in them. As well as that, and in line with Adidas efforts to reduce plastic waste, which is amazing, this particular shoe is not a bad choice because it's obviously has the conscious effort to help support the environment. So don't get me wrong, buying a pair of these shoes won't save the planet, but if you have to buy new running shoes, you might as well go for a pair from a manufacturer who are actively seeking to be environmentally friendly, which is quite nice. And Adidas at least tries to make a difference, which is fairly admirable. So all things considered, Adidas 4D FWD, great running shoes, probably the best running shoes from Adidas at the moment for runners who are looking for something a bit more serious than the Ultra Boost 21, but less sporty than the Adizero Adidas Pro. So if you're looking for looks as well, take that into account. So that was shoe number one by Adidas. Do check them out in the picture I will tag in the next post. Shoe number two is the Nike Zoom MX Incredible Run Fly Knit. So the Zoom X foam strikes again. The Nike Zoom X Incredible Run Fly Knit has a lot of great features for runners, especially those who prefer a lot of cushioning like me and they don't mind that extra bulk, that extra chunk on the back. Sometimes it can make the shoes look kind of big and bulky, but if it's done nicely and neatly like this pair, it doesn't. So the Zoom X foam is providing one of the best midsole foams being used in running shoes. It's soft without being unstable and bounces well without losing too much energy in the process. So that's something to take into account. The Evolved Fly Knit Upper, which is probably just very similar to this one, allows contour of the foot, which is what I love, allowing you to shape to your own foot, especially if you've got a specific type of foot shape that requires a little bit more, let's just say, adjustment, which is you're free to move within this. I would suggest wearing at least mid socks with this particular shoe, as the collar is a bit tight and it might cause a little bit of rubbing, whereas this collar here is quite soft. So once you break these particular ones in, which is the Nike Zoom X, once you break them in, it's going to be obviously a lot more comfortable for you. And you can get away with wearing ankle socks as well, which is what I prefer to wear. So the Nike Zoom X Incredible Run Fly Knit might not be the cheapest running trainers, and I'm sure you will be put off by the chunkiness of the shoes. I was when I saw them in store, but if you like Nikes then and you have a little bit of money to spare and you're not really worried about the bulk, I'd recommend giving them a try. So go and check them out. In usual Nike style, the Invincible Run doubles up as a sneaker, so you can, rest assured you're getting your money's worth there. Shoe number three, the Saucony Kinvara 12, a shoe that I probably wouldn't ever invest in, because I've never been aware of it. I've never specifically gone out looking for running shoes. These are these are sort of snappy little pair of running shoes for fast training sessions. There is very little to criticise about them, if I'm honest with you. I have seen them in store. Some might say the Bright Future collection went a little bit over the top with the colours, but as you can see, some people don't mind bright colours. So I've personally described these shoes using the term colourful, and I couldn't agree more, because they are very bold. And if you don't like that statement, these ones are probably not the ones for you. That said, the Kinvara 12 doesn't look too odd for a running shoe, but it might not be quite stylish enough for what it isn't for me. But you know, you can actually buy the sneaker version of the Kinvara 12. It's not my cup of tea, because I like to cross function with fashion. But there you go. Sometimes as soon as you put on a pair of new running shoes, you can tell straight away that it will be great to run in them. This is exactly what happened to me when I tried these on for the first time and used them on a treadmill in store. I was pretty impressed, and I could tell the difference for sure. When it comes to sort of running dynamics of the Saucony Kinvara 12, it delivers big time, without a shadow of a doubt. All the tech the Saucony's got to offer, including the Power Run midsole and the Form Fit upper, work together really seamlessly, and they deliver a really snappy running experience. So go and check them out. They're worth a look if you're really, really dedicated to your running, not too worried about your fashion. Shoe number 4 is the Brooks Hyperion Tempo. Again, these are specific for runners. You probably won't find them in a normal sports store unless you're going to a specialist. These are lightweight trainers with nitrogen infused midsole. They were announced in January in 2020 actually, and they didn't get the attention they deserved according to reviews, partially due to lockdown and because Brooks is one of those brands only real runners know about, which is a bit of a shame. They're an American manufacturer, and they've got a lot of amazing running shoes, including the Hypertension Tempo. That's basically a running trainer as well. It works in tandem with carbon enhanced Brooks Hyperion Elite running shoes as well, racing shoes. So both shoes are brand new to the market. They are nitrogen infused DNA flash midsole with a responsive, bouncy and light feel to them. So yeah, really good for the professional runner. So go and check those one out. Last one I'm going to go through today, there are millions. I could carry on, but you would get bored. And I would say take this as a guide, check them out for yourself, and really start to understand what you are buying these shoes for, what terrain you are wearing them for, what you are looking for in terms of colour, fit, bounce, sole and performance, and also things like using them with apps. So have a think about all that kind of stuff. So number 5 is the Hoka 1-1 Mach 4. Personally, I think they're an amazing all-rounder running shoe. The Hoka 1-1 Mach 4 running shoe, they've got quite a luxurious feel, lots of padding and ventilation holes. The ProFly midsole feels both really soft and springy. So you get like a double whammy of cushioning and a firm toe off as well. So making the Mach 4 one of the most adaptable shoes around. When your running shoes are as versatile as the Mach 4, you can run long in them and rely on them to look after your legs as well as take on the tempo or harder sessions without losing that faster feeling. All very technical, this stuff. I didn't realise how technical it was. So the shoes will remain springy despite all the cushioning that's under your feet. So the Mach 4 is a perfect option for fast running days. So if you're going for speed, you're going for sort of just to test yourself against your own times, or you know, you're using them to compete in, they would be a really good choice. Some other running shoes with carbon plates might feel too firm for some people. So do ask the professional in store about running plates. And if you're one of those people who wants softness without squidgy feeling, definitely opt for the Mach 4. Strongly suggest that you put these near the very top of your next potential shoe purchase. So I have more that I have looked at, but I'm not going to go through them here. If you've got any questions for me, please do drop a comment for me below. I will tag all of these shoes and specifically my favourites, my Under Armour Phantom RNs, which I hope is still on the market because I definitely want to buy another pair of these. Anyway, I hope that helped you get started to make a decision on what to buy for your next running purchase. Next week, I'm going to take you through the best purchases for gym-based shoes for all sorts of stuff you do in the gym, including your weightlifting. Until then, have a good week. See you soon. Bye.